Mask Boys here. We are going to talk about marijuana legalization. Yesterday, Canada and Alaska and Oregon both legalized recreational marijuana, as did Washington, D.C. Apparently, the Senate can actually overturn what's going on in D.C. because it's a district and not a state. But it's pretty big news, I think, that Alaska, which you would think is a pretty conservative state, and Oregon, which is fairly mixed between obviously Portland and Eugene, they passed it, which actually puts a lot of pressure on California in 2016 to vote it in, I'd say. This guy is very stoked. He is, I don't know, he's pretty excited. What do you think, Pinky?
Yeah, I mean that's a pretty bad tattoo, but
I don't think it's a tattoo. I think it's just a marker.
well, I don't know. It looks like a tattoo to me, but I guess maybe it doesn't. I
Oh,
mean,
you're right. It is. It's a tattoo, and then he sharpied in the rest.
um, I mean, I'm kind of curious what exactly it means to be legalized. Does that mean I can smoke a joint in public, or?
Well, I think the way it works, so the way it works, at least in California with medical marijuana, is that you can smoke it where you're allowed to smoke cigarettes.
Yeah, I honestly I don't really agree with this law. Um, I do believe that marijuana should be legal to a certain degree. I don't think people should be going to prison because they have a bag of weed in their car or in their house, or maybe they even want to grow it. But I definitely do have a problem even with cigarettes being smoked in public areas where I'm walking and trying to enjoy my day. I really hate it. So I,
I completely agree with that part. I mean, I don't. I think that they should be illegal other than in very designated areas, or fine in your car, I guess, in like not in like in traffic or something. I don't know, but
what's the
but I
legal
think
age limit, I guess?
what's that?
What's the legal age limit?
21.
Okay. Now, I mean, there are going to be a lot of problems for this. It's really controversial. I mean, maybe overall it's better than making it criminal and having all these people paying fines and having to do jail time or whatever they have to do. But I don't think people should be operating vehicles while under the influence of marijuana, alcohol. Um, I do think it should be classified around the same place. I mean, uh,
You're not supposed to operate a vehicle if you're using marijuana.
and I think
So
that one of the problems with this is going to be now law enforcement needs to up their game to figure out whether or not people are making stupid mistakes in their car while being high. I mean, how can you
yeah,
tell whether somebody's high or not, you know?
yeah, I think that's a that can analyze. I think I've read about it where they can analyze the level of THC in your bloodstream or whatever. I guess based on like a breathalyzer. It's no different.
Well, they can do it on a breathalyzer. I didn't realize they could. Yeah, I mean,
I believe they can. I believe it's like new technology that's probably being quickly looked at by police forces in states like Colorado and Washington. But look, like Colorado is bringing in $85 million in taxes this year from recreational marijuana. That's a lot of money for a state, especially like Colorado isn't a huge state. It's not California, so
it is, but how many costs are we going to incur because it's going to be legalized now, you
yeah. But
know?
think how many people aren't. I mean, what's the cost to house a prisoner for a year? 120 grand or something like that. So like multiply that by how many people were in prison for marijuana drug related costs, and you quickly get into the millions of dollars. 10 people is $1.2 million a year.
Yeah, so I mean, I think I do agree. Maybe economically, it's a good. This I don't want people. I think the thing I would worry about is I don't want people to be under the impression that smoking weed is somehow good for you. You know, I mean, look at how terrible cigarettes are. If you just look at cigarettes, the damages that are incurred by people through their health problems and everything is it far outweighs any benefit that we get from cigarettes. Uh,
Yeah, but I think cigarettes are a different story, and a lot of people now are starting to use like vaporizers with marijuana, which I think doesn't do the same physical damage to your lungs that inhaling actual smoke does. Also, I think, and I know quite a few people who actually really do benefit from marijuana, where they just have like whether it's a hyperactive ADD or something else that's gone undiagnosed. Marijuana kind
yeah,
of
but
comes in.
we're not, we're, not, we're, not, we're 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 not, talking about medical marijuana. We're talking about medical marijuana. We're talking about blanket, you know, legalization to where your kid will grow up, and when he turns 18, it'll be a lot more accessible for him to be smoking weed. And my personal opinion is that maybe it does help some people who have medical problems, but I just feel like the people doing it recreationally, many people who smoke weed for such a large portion of their life, and truly my opinion is that it just lowers the quality of their life. It's
I
going
really
to turn
agree.
along the
It
I,
depends.
I,
Depends how
weed.
you're cutting out, so we're gonna have to cut this one short.
All right.
All right. Well, we're opposing. I think we're gonna be talking about this one again.
All
And
right.
the next guy, the guy who starts the next Facebook says that he like owes it all to marijuana.